such sights to show you.
You are all going to die tonight.
This is bad comedy.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Good evening, my sweet tortured souls, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Your Geek Is Showing. Joining me, as always, is the random man, Guy JB.
I return. Hello.
He's back again.
Larger than life and twice as ugly.
Well, you said it, I'm agreeing. And joining us for this episode is the motor mouth of the South himself, Mr. Jimmy Lee Clifford.
Hey,
I
Jimmy
pointed at
Lee.
my crotch then. That was so wrong. What is that?
Like the motor mouth, it's definitely right.
Get out. And stop crotch pointing you.
I do apologize. So, how have you been, Guy? It's been a while since we've seen you on here.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been a busy boy, but I'm not moaning.
Yeah.
I've been busy with the music.
Good. Hope your gigs have been going very well.
God, if they were going any better, I'd have to be twins just to cope with it.
Well, it's better to be busy than sitting on your hands doing nothing.
Oh no, if you sit on your hands, then
Don't go there.
Yeah.
Well,
And how have you been, Jimmy?
busy as always. New job, so getting used to that one. And then, childcare things.
Of course. So, on tonight's episode, we are going to talk about a wonderful show.
Hold on.
What?
You're getting ahead of yourself there, aren't you?
I'm going to do shout outs in a moment. Let me get there.
Patience.
No.
No patience.
Stop pouring at
I'm
you.
going to talk about a wonderful show that was adapted from a comic book. I hadn't heard about this until the show came around, so it kind of was under my radar. He's going to show off later by being like, I read the comic book.
No.
No.
I'm going to be superior about being the one who turned you on to this.
But of course, we are talking about that diabolical show, all about superheroes and the fact that they're all a bunch of fucked up cunts in the end. It is, of course, The Boys. But
Yay.
before we get into the meat of the episode, and we kind of, in some scenes, we mean that quite fucking literally.
Meat.
Sid.
There's a lot of meat.
But as we always do on each episode, we're going to do the shout outs first. And starting with last week's episode. I'm having to double check here. Here we go. There's two JK comments next to each other, and I wasn't sure which one was which. So that's our first commenter. It's the man, the myth, the beard, the ginger one, Mr. JK47, of course, the Ginger Ninja JK. And he says, this brings back memories. I used to have so many OG action figures from the 80s, Transformers, He-Man, Star Wars. I'm sure the three of us probably had quite a lot of those ones as well. Sorry, Jimmy?
Sadly gotten rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Parents were like, it's a bit of plastic, it's not worth anything.
Lost in house moves, lost here and there. Sometimes sold for far less than the value.
Goes on to say, unfortunately, lost to the ages. Yeah, that's pretty much the same with us.
Lost to the mother.
Yeah, but now I have a few of the Walking Dead figures and a lot of pop vinyls. We did say in that episode, I don't really buy pop vinyls if I'm gifted them. Jimmy, thank you. If I'm gifted them, I'm quite happy to accept them, but they're not something I would buy myself. Like a Beanie Baby. Someone gives me a Beanie Baby, I'm like, oh, it's a Beanie Baby. I'm not going to buy one. Fuck that. Would love to have some Predator and Alien and a lot of the other figures. A Neon Genesis Evangelion or Techo Man would be awesome. Yes, two very, very good animes. I do have a few statues that a good friend gave to me, Deadpool, Superman, and Batman, which are awesome and float around in the back of some of my reviews. I think I have seen a couple of those. I have watched one or two, like your Phantasm videos recently. I have watched but not commented. I'm a bitch. I'm sorry. I'll get on that. I'll get on that. And then he goes on to finish off with saying, but damn, you both had some freaking awesome pieces on display. Thank you so much, JK. Mwah.
They also had collectibles too. Yeah.
You're an asshole. I love you, but you're an asshole.
You missed me.
I know. I missed you like I miss a case of syphilis.
Oh, you'd know.
Well, I enjoy the brief insanity. What can I say? King George was onto something.
You enjoyed the stinging
At
sex.
least, hey, if you have sex and end up with a disease that makes you mentally colorful, I'm all for it. Thank you. Sounds like my idea of a good fucking time. Anyway,
we go to the Pokemon selection there. Then. Got to catch
our
them
next
all.
comment is from Invincigaz, who joined us for that episode.
Hey.
Such fun to do. Such a fun show to do, as always. Get my words out. I always have a blast when you invite me on. It was super fun talking about collecting and showing off my favorite pieces. Looking forward to hanging out with you again, and it'll be great seeing the random man back. He's back. Run away.
I'll say, guys, thank you very much from myself for covering me. Cheers, mate.
The next comment was Gaz replying to JK. We have a comment from MSG Ghost. I think that's a Metal Gear Solid reference. I'm not entirely sure. Gaz, you want to speak to us? I speak with you enough. And some laughing faces. That was the Gaz. Then we have a comment from some guy called Guy Jessup Braithwaite. I'm not sure who he is.
I don't know.
Guy, do you know who that is?
No,
No,
no idea.
no clue. Great show. Really enjoyed it. I may have to have more time off. Some great pieces there. Gaz, did I see Ripley in her loader behind your shoulder? Your Ed 29 looks awesome as well. Random JB will return in Thunderbollocks. I might have to start putting that whenever you're away for a week. Put that as like a little card right at the end before the end credits. So
Yeah.
and will return in James Bond spoof name here.
Yeah, do it.
And the next comment from my friend Sue.
Oh, there
Sorry,
must
I'm
be an
late.
angel laying in my heart. Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm late catching up. Loved it. Keep it up. See you on the next one. Oh, thank you, Sue. Mwah.
No.
And that right there is it for the comments shout out. I want to do a quick little shout out here to Tony Harris for the comments you made on your Tony Time video this week about our wonderful little podcast. You're kind of a week behind because it was about our Indiana Jones episode where I had the most epic rant I quite possibly ever had. I think everybody's seen that by now and is probably laughing their asses off at how insane I went. I mean,
that was the king of the skull, wasn't it?
yeah, I said that the CGI alien towards the end of the film, it would have looked better if you had Kermit the Frog after a 3-day bender nailed to a plank of wood playing that part. And I would just like to clear something up. I don't hate the whole film. I did say that in the episode, like the bike chase through the library, I enjoyed that. Some of the action scenes, the bit where he overswings and lands in the front of the van, and he's like, "Oh, I misjudged that," kind of thing. Like, I do like those moments in the film, but it for me, the whole thing was spoiled by that
Ending.
alien.
Let it go.
It smirks at the camera. I watched the clip again. The fucking thing smirks at the camera.
Let it go. Come on, you're Elsa. Let it go. There
I
you
also wish she was as popular as me.
go.
But anyway, yeah, that's it. Thank you, Tony, for your wonderful comments and everything. Has Been Hotel, you did mention that you weren't able to find it. Amazon Prime, honey. Amazon Prime.
There you go.
And if you like musicals, you'll love it.
I'd just like to say a quick thing as well. Big thinking of Dave Oliver, bless him, rest in peace, buddy. Your channel was, quite frankly, bloody amazing. So, it's really sad thing, but I'd just like to say, Dave, thanks for entertaining me. You're a star, and you're very much the standard I sort of look to. So yeah, there you go. Rest in peace. Pour one out, Dave Oliver.
There we go.
There you go.
Right, moving swiftly on then. It's time for that other segment of the show that people seem to be kind of grooving with a little bit. It's time for that question asked since the dawn of mankind when cave people stared at paintings on the wall and his friend nudged him and said, "What you been watching, mate?" So, Guy, what have you been watching over the last 7 days? Well, for you, it could be the last 14 because you've been off.
I have been off. Like I've had time to watch the television, but funnily enough, I have. Yes, the Supernatural binge-a-thon continues.
Same.
With much joy, especially for my wife.
I've got to catch up on that one because I've never watched it. I think I watched season 1 years ago with my sister and mother, and then I had work commitments and just never got back around to it.
Jimmy Lee.
So I'm sadly disappointing you there.
I think I'm gonna have to have a word with someone in my Inhuman Resources department because how your CV got past us to be able to show up on this channel about geeky stuff and you haven't watched past season 1 of Supernatural. I'm gonna have to go and
Take note of the eyebrow.
Scully, you heard it right here. Supernatural. Okay? Mental note of that one for me. Thank you.
You know, the one's a long time, that one.
It's on Prime. You have no excuse. Continuing.
Yes, so there's been that. There has also been, of course, my lovely Gogglebox, because I love it. What else, dear? You don't know, do you? No. Okay. Oh, Bad Batch. Series 3.
Season 3. Oh.
Season 3.
And
we say series because we're English.
Okay. Anyway, I have been watching a lot more Mythbusters.
Yeah.
I also been watching Gen V.
Nice.
Catching up with that.
Nice.
Supernatural, as Guy said, we're working on that one. We're gonna get there eventually. There's a lot to get through with that show.
What season are you on now?
I'm just I think I'm on the back end of season 5, going into season 6 now.
I'm on 7.
I need to catch up then. I had my daughter here for a week. I didn't have a chance to catch up. The other thing I have been watching, I did mention this in last week's episode. I was going to do it once a fortnight.
Oh.
I watched X-Men 97.
I'm on the watch list.
Oh.
Well,
it's a higher priority. I really want to watch that. I just things and stuff.
I am firing my entire Inhuman Resources department.
Boot him off.
Right, where's the mouse cursor? Where's the cursor?
I'll just see myself there.
You just go have a cigarette for 5 minutes. We'll finish the episode without you.
Although, to be fair,
the cheek of it. But anyway, I watched X-Men 97, and again, like I said last week, I'm not going to give any spoilers. We have agreed that this will get its own episode.
What episode are you up to?
I'm up to date. I'm waiting on the new episode coming out. I'm up to date now.
I see. I waited because I watched episode 3. Obviously, I watched episode 1 and 2 first before you get all smart assery. Um, so yeah, I watched episode 3, and then I sort of looked this morning. I thought, oh, catch up with the X-Men, and it said, episode 4 is like a part 1 of. So I'm like, right, hold fire.
Yeah, I normally don't do cliffhangers, but the small little girl that resides in my brain remembers those years where I would watch it an episode a week as it was coming out. And
We
I,
had no
I
choice
just
back
went, yeah, I had no choice back then. And honestly, the nostalgia with this show, the
then.
intro, the characters, everything, for me, I kind of latched on that old hype of my brain of like, oh, I'm gonna wait a
Mm.
week to find out what happens next. And
Although it's got to be said,
hmm?
got to be said, Rogue, you fucking bitch.
Now I need to watch.
Oh, I know, poor Gambit. Oh,
Bitch.
what a bitch. But we'll
What
leave
should
it
you?
at that. Last night I did watch a wonderful little documentary on Amazon Prime called After Life After the Navigator.
Oh, I want to watch this.
Yeah, it was about the what happened to Joey Kramer, the actor who was the navigator in Flight of the Navigator.
Big Kramer.
I think it's Joey Kramer.
That's the drummer in Aerosmith.
I may be wrong. I did watch it last night. I was very tired. But yeah, the child who was the navigator in Flight of the Navigator made headlines a few years ago because he was arrested for robbing a bank. I didn't know any of
What
this.
the fuck?
Yeah, I did not know this news story. It never kind of into my timeline or anything. I never knew about this. So when I watched the trailer for it, I was like, what? And it goes into like it's only an hour, I want to say an hour and a half long. I think it's about an hour and a half. But it sort of tells like behind the scenes stuff with some of the films, like how they did some of the visual effects and stuff
Mm.
like that. And we all know me, I love my practical effects. But this is one film that I can point to and say, this is where CGI was used appropriately.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because,
Yeah, mostly for those steps.
yeah, the steps and the ship
Yeah,
changing shape and stuff like that, and the reflections on the ship, that's
yeah.
CGI to me. That's when it's used right. But they did use some practical effects with the ship. They had it on a big crane and they'd move it into camera. It's all in the show.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
it's more about what happened to the star after, the life he
Yeah.
had after. And some parts of it, I was sat there and I will hold my hands up. I've been a little bit emotional the last few days. And watching that last night, there were certain parts of it that broke me because I was like, I've been where he was mentally. Like, I've been there.
Well, aboard a ship with a giant eye.
Flying backwards through
Walk into an
time.
eyeball that sounds like Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was that one time on mushrooms.
Mm.
oddly,
I thought you were going to say this one time at band camp. Then.
enough, oddly enough. But no, that's what I have been watching. Jimmy Lee, do you want to give us a quick rundown of what you've been watching this week?
Many repeats of Snail and the Whale and the usual child stuff.
Uh,
Other than that, I think I was doing a large amount of research for what we are talking about.
Yeah,
So I have been trying to catch up very quickly. And as they are 1 hour episodes and there's an 8 a season, that's 8 hours and it's not. So yeah, the schedule's been filled. This is why things like 97's still on the watch list for definite. I want to
we,
watch that.
we
It's more
can
of a what
understand
do I
that.
want to watch?
I will give
97's on the list.
I will give you a
Um,
slight pass. I will give you a slight pass because it was literally like back end of last week's episode. I went, you know what? I've got an idea for an episode. Let's bring in
yeah.
my boys to cover the boys. And I literally let you know, like Monday afternoon, like, yeah, Sunday, you're on the podcast. You've got to catch up with the
Monday
boys.
afternoon, I got told you're on the Sunday podcast, and I'd literally start. On Monday, I was off, so I managed to get about like 3 episodes in. But then I was like, I got to be up early because
Straight
Tuesday,
work,
Wednesday,
yeah.
Thursday, I'm working, and the new work routine. Literally, I'm like I said, I'm up at 5 to 5 to get there, and
Yeah.
then I'm back at around 5 o'clock. By the time I fit everything else in, I'm getting an hour, two at a push.
Well, like I said, I did kind of drop the bomb on you, like, yeah,
Yeah.
boom,
So
there'll
it's
be
like
another
this
episode.
is why
Here
it's
you
like
go.
97's on the watch. I was going to watch 97 this week. It was going to be like an episode of The Boys and then 97 and do like try and watch a bit more TV because there is actually quite a few more things that are coming out that's interesting me.
I
So
know.
now everything's just got shoved backwards, and I was like, I got to catch up on this.
So yeah, you've been pretty much watching the boys non-stop, so
Yeah,
that's fine.
non-stop. I'm actually really quite enjoying the binge watch for a change. 'Cause it
There you
is.
go.
It's a bingeable show though, because
Yeah,
every episode ends with a perfect hook for the next one, and that's what
yeah.
I love about it. But we're gonna get into that. So without further ado, here we go. I called in the boys to cover the boys. So let's kick it off straight away. I'm going to throw it over to Guy, even though
Hello.
I'm hosting. I'm going to throw it over to Guy. Give us the basic premise of the boys in 2 minutes or less.
Oh, in a nutshell. Oh, it's me in a nutshell. Oh, I mean, how am
Oh,
I in
no.
this nutshell?
What
No,
sort of
sorry.
the shell? This fucking big.
Sorry, come as this. Right. Okay. Set in a universe where superheroes are not only real, they're also lorded over and controlled by corporate America, that old friend of everyone's. Good old corporate America. So, yeah, this is a very cynical show where, which is one of my favorite, actually, one of my favorite things about it is the sheer cynicism of this show. It reminds me of Paul Verhoeven at his strongest. So, yes, we're talking RoboCop. We're talking Starship Troopers, that sort of level. So we have a group of superheroes called the Seven, controlled by Vought Industries International. And of course, on the flip side of that, we also have the people who do not like the soups.
Yes, they refer to them as soups.
Yes, they're called soups.
Not the tin version, though.
Pardon?
Not tins, just
Not
soup.
tins. No, no, it's not minestrone.
No. Although I wouldn't be surprised if in this world there was a superhero who could fire minestrone soup out of his hands, and his name was Minestrone.
That'd be really, that's like the shittest superpower ever.
Well, I mean, from one perspective, I mean, if you go around the homeless community, you're hungry, yeah.
Oxtail.
I don't like
There's
soup.
one with like a sponge foot because I think sponge foot would be useful at a bar. All the spillages.
I was going to say, however, that was sponge fingers.
Yeah, that could go terribly. They'd find a way to make that terribly go wrong.
You could team him up with salad fingers.
Okay, we're going off piece already.
Tangent, sorry. Continue, Guy.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. There is a bunch of the so-called soups who are incredibly, on the face of everything Vault and the TV network and the PR and the multinationalness of it. There is the very basic need of all of them to go, what am I getting out of this? What's in it for me?
Yeah. The best way I heard it jokingly described online somewhere was The Boys is basically what happens if you gave the Kardashians capes. It's the Kardashians in capes kind of thing. Like, some of them are so egotistical and they do nothing. Their powers are so clear, but their arrogance and their ego, because of what you were saying there, like Vought basically treating them like a corporate entity, and it's all
Yeah.
about marketing, it's all about money, it's all about popularity, it's all about trending on social media, all the kind of stuff we hate about the world right now. These superheroes embody that, and it is like the Kardashians with superpowers, you know.
Or X Factor.
Buy all these
Yeah.
people to go and save this, but what's it going to cost you?
Mm.
Yeah, essentially. Carry on.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry about that, folks.
Okay.
But obviously you do have your resistance in the shape of that lovely Carl Urban. Oh, look, she's quivering. She's quivering. Oh, blimey.
Excuse me while I just foot paddle here for a moment.
Ooh. Or if we were in the Carry On verse, it'd be.
Carl.
Mm.
Carl Urban. Oh.
You do like him, don't you?
Ooh, a little bit.
There is also Jack Quaid
Yes.
as Huey. Poor
Huey.
Huey.
Huey Campbell. Oh.
Poor Huey, and the fate he befalls. Well, in the first episode, his girlfriend is killed by accident.
Robin?
Yeah.
One step off the curb.
Yeah, well, she was one fucking step off the fucking curb. Yeah, but that intro, we'll kind of talk about the bits and pieces that go along with it here. But that intro to the show, if you're not expecting it, like the first bit you see, like Homelander do the fight and everything, but that bit with Robin and the special
slow
effects
motion of it as well.
Pardon?
There's only a few scenes that are done in slow motion. There's another one involving a dolphin later. But
we'll get to that. We'll get to
that one.
We'll get to that later.
It's slow motion, isn't it?
The opening, like just the way the blood slowly splatters on his face and everything. You're experiencing it with him, and that grabbed my attention. Episode 1, that bit, more than the superhero-y stuff, because I've seen all the Marvel shit. I've seen superheroes stopping trucks and beating up back. I've seen all that. But with
We've all seen it.
Pardon?
We've all seen it. This is
exactly. But with the boys, you get to see the almost, and we'll get into it, is sort of the collateral damage side of it. Like these superheroes you see in these films bring down buildings and flip cars over and stuff. The boys is about what happened to those people, the people who are on the receiving end of collateral damage.
Yeah, it is.
I love that.
It's very much the seedy underbelly.
It is literally like the Avengers, when they do the whole. It's the film where the Civil War, and but you're not following what the superheroes are doing. You're following what the people that were around
the non-powered people, the normal people, humans, which we'll get onto it. Billy Butcher, Carl Urban, you brought it up. The best way to put it is he's an anti-soup vigilante, is the best way to put it. He's got his reasons. We're not going to do too many spoilers because Mr. Clifford has not finished watching it. Jimmy's not finished watching it, and this is our way of trying to entice people to go and watch it. So,
which does well because I'm watching it.
See, there you go.
Well, we really need to entice Tony to watch it.
Yes, Tony, son of the Pertwee. You accepted my crow challenge. I challenge you again, sir. The boys, all 3 seasons, and Gen V.
Do it.
Do it now.
Oh,
do it.
Get to my chopper. Sorry, wrong show.
No. Oh, there goes the PG-13.
Oh, bollocks. I mean, shit. I mean, fuck. I mean, crap.
And people think I'm the sweary one.
Here we go. If you know what that means, answers in the comments.
There you go.
While we're on the subject, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little bell wherever it is on your screen.
And tell a friend.
Yeah.
Tell 2.
You have any?
Tell as many friends as you like. If you've only got one friend, tell them. If you're only friends with your cat, don't tell your cat we don't test well with cat audiences, apparently.
No, we don't. No,
No,
it's not part of our key demo.
no, it's really not. It's really not. But no, introducing into the show, you get that brilliant intro.
Mm.
The story plods along. You see that Vought basically tries to buy Huey's silence with an NDA. They offer him 50K, which even by today's money,
Mm.
that's fuck all, really, for a person's life when you think about it. And this is, like you said earlier, the cynicism,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the corporate cynicism. Like, that is how corporations treat people, like the
And
everyday
the fact
people on
that
the street.
And the fact he turns around, and I remember that scene, he turns around, the lawyer turns around and says, "We don't actually have to offer you anything because you're not technically married.
yeah.
Yeah,
But we're doing this anyway, just to,
yeah.
As
Out
a
of the
goodwill
kindness
gesture.
of our hearts. Yeah, like,
yeah.
and that's what I mean. Like, the cynicism, you can
Mm.
compare it to the real world because it's like, I swear, we're one step away from that.
Yeah,
But you get introduced to Billy Butcher, as you said, played by Carl Urban, and trying not to drool again.
yeah.
But just the way he comes in, so enigmatic, like you don't know what he wants, but and then you get that throwdown fight in Huey's shop between
Yeah.
him and Translucent.
Mm.
And from that moment on, Billy Butcher is just a sweary, angry, violent, borderline sociopath who
Hmm.
has got the world's biggest, hardest murder boner for Homelander. With reason, we're
And
not going to
anybody
spoil
who
that
works with
reason.
him.
We won't spoil that reason, but he's
Mm.
got his fucking reason, and fair play to him. But this, oh, that just every scene after that.
Yeah.
And he's so blunt and colourful with the metaphors. I like the Spice Girls.
Oh, I swear they have set a record for use of the word cunt.
Oh, they
Yeah,
have to
they
have.
follow.
You can't. I just love the way he says it, and his catchphrase, diabolical. That when I hear him
Yeah.
say that, it's hairs on the back of my neck. Like, it's just a TV show. Calm down. But
And
when he
this is
says
the guy
that,
who went from playing Boromir and
I know he was
Dr.
Lord of the
Bow,
Rings,
Dr. McCoy,
Judge Dredd,
Mm.
to Judge Dredd, and now
Yeah.
this.
versatile actor though, and that's what I love about him as an actor.
Yeah.
Whatever role you give him, he will just blow it out the water.
Yeah.
He will do better than you think he's going to do. Because when I heard he was playing Judge Dredd before it came out, I was like, the guy from Lord of the Rings is playing Judge. Really? Huh.
Again, that's on my watch list, and I've seen clips, so I'm aware of it, and I can see that he does a very good job just from the
How did
clip.
you get on
It's on
this
the
show?
watch list. That's got to come off that watch list because,
I,
yeah,
I've got to ask this right. Are you giving Guy some sort of under the table entertainment? Because how the fuck did you get on this show? Your geek knowledge is just
I think I
But
had a book of spells, and you needed me for a couple of
you
episodes.
must have.
That I was knowledgeable on because I had
I'm
some.
I'm gonna go check with Inhuman Resources yet again and see if we have a soul transfer on file because that's the only way I can explain this. But anyway, the boys continuing with season one. Guy, go.
oh god damn it. So yes, we continue with Huey's just total indignation and horrification of the fact that his girlfriend's been killed. They don't give a fuck, to be honest. His dad is busy going, take the money, which is just blowing his head to bits.
I
So
was gonna say he's kind of his dad, played brilliantly by Simon Pegg.
yes.
He's kind of got the blinders on, like he knows the
Mm.
world's fucked, but there's nothing he can do about it. Like just sit
Yeah.
down, shut up, keep your head down, take the payout, and just leave them to do their thing because you're not the only person this has happened to, and you're not going to be the last. That's kind of
Mm.
the vibe you get from him. Like
Yeah.
he's
Don't rock the
beaten down
boat.
to the point where he just goes,
He's
you know what?
kind of pragmatic and
Yeah.
relatable as a result, but at the same time, don't
He's
take
like
them on it.
he's just that guy that wants a quiet life. I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. But as you're saying, Guy,
But yeah, he just, he wants him to eat pizza rolls and shut the fuck up. So,
and watch Remington Steele,
yeah.
which is a constant running gag.
Mm. So, of course, time goes on. We see that, there is a new member of the Seven, which is the main superhero group, which is,
Starlight.
yes, our Starlight. She's very cool. And she's very much, well, she's rather naive to the ways of it all because she actually wants to help people as opposed to just getting what she can out of this whole superhero ride.
Yeah, yeah.
So she comes in. You've got Queen Maeve, who is just boozed and drugged out of her head and just
And sleeping with
burning out.
anything that moves. Yeah.
Yeah, she's burnt out. You got Black Noir, who is mute and just,
But that does get explained in season 2.
yeah, that gets explained later on.
Ooh.
He's
And
not
you
seen
got,
that. He's not seen that one, so we'll keep that.
and you got the Deep, who is
Oh,
just a horrible man.
I hate that motherfucker. From that opening scene with Starlight, I was like, I don't care what you do from this point on, you are irredeemable, sir.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some of his stuff and I kind of get it, and I do feel a little bit sorry for him at certain points, but then I'm like,
Mm.
you brought this on yourself with your behavior, so no, I'm not gonna feel sorry for you.
I that's a strange one because I'm not. I won't. I'd suggest that I would forgive him for the things he does.
Mm.
I can understand them,
That's what I mean.
and he does get karma back in droves.
Mm. Yes, he does.
The karma that comes back round on him. But
Seeing as we brought the deep up,
we're
let's talk about that scene that had us giggling a little while ago,
getting
shall
it. Used
we?
to get it
Shall
out the
we?
system.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Jimmy about this last night, and I said the same thing to Guy when I first saw the scene.
Mm.
It's one of those things like you see almost in a Roadrunner cartoon where one bad thing happens and it has a domino effect and it just gets worse as it goes along. And every moment I
You'd be,
laughed, and then something else would happen that would catch me off guard, and I'd laugh louder. And then by the finality of that dolphin, like just skids across the floor, I'm like, oh, well, at least it's. Oh no!
yeah.
I didn't even get time to finish my sentence. That truck
The
just.
way that scene's filmed as well, it is
Mm.
done like perfectly, right? It's the slow mo
Yeah.
dolphin turning with the smile on his face as the scene continues to its finality. But it's I don't know if it's my overactive imagination, the brain, he's quite clearly. I mean, it's explained. The Deep is basically Aquaman.
Yeah. Basically.
He's basically Aquaman. Right?
He's
And
just a pervy Aquaman.
he's a pervy over. Yeah, he's Aquaman, right? And he talks to
The fishes and
the
stuff.
sea life. Okay,
Also, there's
it's
other
the
stuff.
whole
He sleeps with the
conversational.
fishes.
I missed that. What was
He
that?
sleeps with the fishes.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's well. I know, yeah. Just the conversational context with said dolphin.
Do you know what though? We shouldn't blame him because he's not doing it on purpose.
Whoa!
And later on, he does have a whale of a time.
Ooh.
And his favorite James Bond film was Octopussy.
With is that the one with Timothy Dalton?
No,
No, that's
it's with Roger Moore.
Roger Moore.
The
that
more
one.
the merrier.
Not
Yeah.
Timothy. It's not Timothy.
Yeah, Roger Moore.
But yeah, season 1 basically sort of there's lots of the one thing I will say about this show, and I kind of love it for it, is there's multiple storylines going on
Yeah.
all at once that
Yeah.
all kind of
This is the thing.
intersect
This
with
is
each
hard
other.
for me to sort of go, oh, well, this happens and this happens and this happens. Well, no, because there's just shit happening all over the place.
Yeah, and you've
Yeah.
got a lot of characters that have got multiple things going on with different
Mm.
groups. Like Homelander, there's a lot going on with him because there's stuff
Yeah.
going on within the Seven. There's stuff with him going after Billy and all that kind of stuff.
He
There's
is
the
brilliantly portrayed by Anthony Starr. Jesus Christ,
oh,
that bloke deserves the awards.
I was saying this last night to Jimmy. Homelander for me is a character that I love to hate and hate to love.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because there's certain things about the character where, like Jimmy said earlier, you can kind of understand why he's
Yeah.
a little bit not wired right, like the way he was raised and things like you can
Mhm.
kind of sympathize with him to a certain extent. But then you bring in the fact that he's a narcissistic asshole with a hell of a god complex, and that
Well,
takes
yeah.
away from
And the
it.
powers to back it up.
Like you said, Anthony Starr's portrayal of him balances that perfectly.
Yeah.
Like you see in one scene, he's an emotional wreck. And the next scene, he's like blasting people to bits with his laser vision because they threw a rock at him.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
then he's
He's like
being breastfed.
by Elizabeth Shue, which I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure we've all wanted to be in that position, but
That one took me by surprise. That one.
Oh.
What?
He's kind of creepy watching that.
yeah.
Yeah,
First time I
well,
was watching it, I went,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a
Should I
one. I
not
was like,
look?
that it came out of nowhere, that one. And it's like, that's happening? I'm like, in my head, is that his actual mom or something? Or what am I, well, I'm
No,
missing
no,
it.
no.
And it's not. No, it's not that either.
It's weird. They do kind of
Yeah,
that does become like an overarching thing in later seasons where he's always got this thing about milk.
Yeah.
yeah, he does have a major thing for milk. I mean,
Guy,
his
guy will
bones.
know. Guy will know what I mean when I say the bit with the cow in the barn.
Oh God.
I've got. Oh, God.
Mhm.
Milk state, milk mustache.
And the one I've seen is where it's an earlier season, obviously, because I watched it, and he's got the bottle of milk and nearly gets caught by one of the other guys, and he's trying to
Oh,
trade him
yeah.
back.
You're able to see here.
Yeah, like he goes from literally and like you say about the actor, he's like literally flicking
Yeah,
from like insecure, mentally
insecure
ill
man baby.
to suddenly I'm professional now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Just like,
and like I said, there's so much going on with the story, but like, we don't want to spoil too much of it.
no, we don't.
Honestly,
Because
go and check it out. The characters are brilliant. One of my kind of favorite low key characters in it is Frenchie.
Frenchie's awesome.
Frenchie,
Yeah.
the drugged up, crazy little
Ooh.
man that he is,
Mm.
got an obsession with killing superheroes. The way he figures out how to take down Translucent,
Oh.
the bit with watching the turtle on the TV.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Documentaries do help, folks.
And Billy Butcher's response, "Can you stick your finger up there trying to scratch it out?"
Ooh.
If you were C4 enema. You know what I mean? It's like,
Mm.
and then Huey just,
Yeah.
ew. But oh, the boys, the boys, the boys. If you've not seen it, go and watch it.
Yeah. If you've got a hankering for just cynical superheroes, I mean, let's face it. I think all three of us have got a certain fatigue of
I
a
was
certain.
just gonna
Yeah.
say that. I was just gonna say if you are suffering from Marvel fatigue, I mean the
Yeah.
DC stuff has kind of been a non-starter from the beginning, so we don't worry about that. But
Yeah, but this is the answer to Marvel fatigue.
yeah,
Yeah.
It really is.
it's more honest. I feel
Yeah.
like as great as as some of the Marvel films have been, declining quality notwithstanding,
Mm.
they're not. They don't tell a very real story. It's always a cosmic threat or a superpower being or something like that. Whereas
Mm.
the boys, it's mostly told from the perspective of the characters of Huey,
Yeah.
Billy Butcher,
Yeah.
Homelander, and Starlight. They're kind of the main four characters that the storylines really do focus on. And it's more about the everyday person being like, we don't need these superheroes to do everything. We don't
Yeah.
need superheroes to constantly be around. And the marketing, like you said earlier, the cynical marketing, but like I think it's when A-Train, when he's having the problems with his heart, and he goes in that shop and he looks round and it's A-Train energy drinks, cereal, snacks,
Yep.
adverts for clothes,
Yeah.
fragrances, and it's like even the superheroes you can see have had enough of that kind of shit.
Yeah. And it's
Like,
like the Dawn of the Seven.
oh, that was such a parody on the Avengers, and I fucking
Mm.
love it. Because as much as I love the Avengers movies, when you do a parody like that where it's taking the whole pomp and circumstances, oh yeah, we beat them. When you take the whole pomp and circumstance of it and just intensify it, and even
Yeah.
when the heroes who are the actors in the films, which is I won't even go with how weird that is, but
Yeah. It's
you even
literally
hear
an
them
actor
talking
playing
amongst
a
each other
character.
like, how shit is this script? Like, are we really, is this really the
Mm.
dialogue we're coming out with? You know what I mean? I love, even the heroes themselves are cynical of the way superheroes behave.
Yeah.
And that's one of the brilliant pulls of the show is that if, like I said, if you've got Marvel fatigue, watch this because it's superheroes,
He's a very good
flaws and
character.
all. You know,
Yeah.
not every superhero is Mr. Perfect Captain America who doesn't swear and doesn't
Well, no, because you got several of them that are racist, homophobic.
Stormfront
Yeah, misogyny. Oh, Stormfront. Jesus Christ.
was the fucking yeah.
Hold on. No, don't,
Cover your
don't,
ears, Lee.
don't.
Cover your ears, Jim. She was the N word, but not that N word. It was the other N word. You know that dude. It was that dude. We won't say his name. Rolf Harris.
Rolf House was a Nazi.
I mean, no,
Well, that wouldn't surprise me.
no. Right. Back on.
Let's not go off on a Rolf Harris tangent.
But yeah,
I'm,
like you
wo-
said, you've got
I'm
the
working that
racist
one out.
superhero.
See, the sub.
Is it season 2 or season 3? The storyline with A-Train. I think it's season 3, isn't it?
Oh, the racist motherfucker in his neighborhood.
Yeah, the one who's going around beating up people in the black community but letting white criminals go. That guy.
Yeah.
That I love that whole thing. One thing I will touch on while we're here about this kind of how they've handled things, and me and Gaz did talk about this very, very briefly.
Mm.
I, you know me, I'm not one for the whole woke culture thing, as people call it.
Huh.
But I think that the boys and Gen V, which is why I'm kind of bringing this up because it's more so in Gen V.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love the way it handles current social situations, as in terms of racism, homophobia,
Mm.
transphobia, all of that kind of thing. It handles it in such a way that it's there and it's in the show.
Yeah.
They're not shoving it in your face. They're not ramming it down your throat. Like the whole stuff with Brave Maeve
Yeah.
when they did that
Yeah,
storyline.
that
Oh
one's
my
coming up on
God.
the end of season 2 because I have seen so yeah because like you said with the Dawn and the Seven, and
Mm.
because the first time she's taking that take, it's her and a bloke, and then they
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, flip it around. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly my
Hashtag brave
point.
move.
But
and there's the whole settee couch talk as well. Well,
Mm.
you know
but
the
it's not
Seven
just
aren't really very well. We've got a gay girl, we've got a black
Yeah.
dude.
but it's
I
not
don't
just
even
that
know what the
though,
Black Noir is because he's wearing a mask all the while. He could be anything.
right?
You know.
It's not just that though, right? For me, it's the fact that when it comes to even sexuality within the
Yeah.
show, it never outright says this character's straight, gay, bi, anything like that. I mean, Termite is a perfect example. You see him in one scene jumping into a lady, and then in a season 3 scene, he goes inside of a
I am
dude.
aware of.
So it shows to me that in the world of the boys, sex, gender, sexuality, all of that doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
You've got bigger, when people can literally burn down buildings with their eyeballs, I think you've got bigger things to worry about than what's between somebody's fucking legs.
Yeah.
Well, look at Gen V. You got the character that's both girl and
Jordan,
boy.
the character's
Yeah.
power is known as bigendered. And
Yeah.
I have noticed, again, I haven't read the source material, so I'm not 100% certain on this, but I have noticed that depending on which gender that character is, they have different
There's a
powers.
set of
Yeah.
superhero powers. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
I was because I've been watching the boys. I have like sort of had a look at some of the
yeah,
bits of MV, and that was the one that got me. Hang on, and then
it's a
so
very,
I
very well done
really enjoy
character.
watching it to get it explained so I can get the context
Mm.
properly. But I was like, that's an interesting
But
concept.
the
The
line that
person
sold
can
it for
literally
me,
switch.
the line that sold it for me with that character was shortly after something had happened, and they turn around to the main character Marie and they say, "Bi gender does not fly in the southern states,"
Mm.
and that to me is subtle enough but powerful enough.
Yeah.
Those of you, it's one of those hashtag if you know you know kind of thing. Like
Mm.
if you live in America and you are trans or whatever, that comment was for you. That's for you to go, I know what that means.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because certain parts of the world, people like myself, we're not liked.
Well, there's a lot
And
of places in the world where you're not, but there you go.
but you know what I mean? It's just I love the way the show handles it. It's
Yeah.
not in your face. It's not woke, 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 woke. It's like it's part of the character.
Yeah.
Don't fucking move on. You don't like it, don't like the character, whatever. And I love how it's not like I said,
And
not
it's
shoved
like
in your
every
face.
single character does have their entire flaws as well. I love, and you can see it's literally people doing what they can in the situation they're in, even
Yeah,
though they might have the opinion they have, but they're
Mm.
just getting on with it as best as they can.
Yeah. But and if I actually tried to get into the comic of this, and so I got my little tablet out where I read Comic Con online.
any good?
Well, I don't know yet because the problem I have is where I sit on the sofa, and you'll know this, Violet, because you've been
Yes,
around
I've
long
been
enough.
round, yes.
Rose sits next to me, and she
Yeah,
has a habit of looking at what I'm looking at.
and you don't want,
Yeah,
yeah. I
And the
know where
problem
this is
is,
going.
first episode of the comic, got scrolled down to the second page, and Billy Butcher's balls deep doggy style in the CIA bird, and they're both naked. I'm like, oh,
I'll read this later.
I'm gonna, yeah, I
yeah.
I can't read this now because
Yeah,
she'll look and go,
This
"Hmm?"
one's not child friendly. Yes, I do own
Yeah,
some
and
comics.
there's of
I own
course,
some graphic novels dealing with
yeah,
yeah,
different. It's a different series, but yes, the pictures don't leave much to the imagination, as you can imagine. So it's like
yeah,
that sort of
yeah.
stuff's kept away from AJ.
But the one thing I do know about the comic book, and I discovered this earlier thanks to JK mentioning it the other week when he said, "Oh, you should go and check out the artwork and stuff." And I was like, "I will do," but I'm saving that until we're doing the boys episode, so it's
yeah,
fresh up here. And the original design for Huey was actually inspired by Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg, yeah,
And I've seen the artwork, and it's like that's Simon Pegg. That really is.
yeah,
And it turns out that the original artist that was intentional. They based it on Simon Pegg,
Yeah,
and he said he was. This is a quote, chuffed to bits that he would been immortalized in a comic book.
yeah,
And he actually did say that if it got turned into a film or a TV show or anything like that, he would very happily play the part of Huey.
yeah.
mm,
But it took so long for the show to come about and get off the ground that by the time it happened, he was obviously too old to play someone who's
Yeah.
meant to be in his
Physically
20s.
too old, yeah, which was a surprise.
So
wasn't
he
it?
stepped in and played Huey's dad, and that's why he ended up playing Huey's dad in the TV show
Yeah.
because he was supposed to play Huey. And I love that little
Yeah.
bit of trivia behind that, and I think that's great. You know, it's very much like how Marvel, when they did the relaunch of Nick Fury, they modeled him on Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The we don't have to pay him lookalike of Sam Jackson, and then he ends up playing him in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
It's similar to the series Lucifer in that the comic book series of Lucifer, that was the actual drawing from Lucifer. It's basically David Bowie. But
Mm.
when they actually brought the TV series out, they didn't want to get a lawsuit thing, so they actually got
Yeah.
another guy to play it. So
But yeah.
yeah.
So go on.
Oh, I was going to say, if you want to have further sort of entertainment, during the course of my research today, I found out if you head over to YouTube, there is a Vought International YouTube page
Oh,
that is full of fun little videos and stuff. It is
I'm gonna
really
have to
worth
check
checking
that
out.
out. I will. If I find the channel before I'm editing this video, I will drop the link for that
Mm.
channel in the description in this video.
But there's lots of lots of fun little things. So it's really worth a watch.
I tell you one thing I do like. You don't get it so much on Prime, but on the Blu-ray box set that you got me for Christmas of season 1 and
Mm.
2, it's got the bloopers and the outtakes.
Oh yeah.
And I tell you what, right, the amount of times that Carl Urban fluffs his lines, or someone says something and he stood there looking
Yeah.
so serious, and he just goes, "Oh shit, it's my line, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Like it's a good 30-second pause, and everyone in the room's looking at him, and he just goes, "Oh yes, me in it." I again love Carl Urban.
Jensen Ackles has got some great outtakes.
But yeah, if you can find the outtakes online, I highly recommend
Ackles, sorry.
going and watching them. Jensen
Oh.
Ackles. We'll
Oh,
touch
sorry,
upon that.
sorry. Hold on. I've just been told off by the adjudicator.
We
It's
haven't
Jensen
talked about
Ackles.
Jensen Ackles. Yes, we haven't. We haven't talked.
Ackles.
What?
Ackles.
Ackles.
I've been told off.
Jensen.
I got used to get told off by my sister, sometimes by other people.
All right
She's
then.
giving me the evil eye.
All right then. I tell you what. Dean from Supernatural.
Yeah.
Now she's smiling.
There we go. But you do in season 3. He shows up as Soldier Boy, which is
Oh, and
basically
he is fucking hilarious.
he really is. Some of his one-liners. He's basically if
That is a treat you're in for.
yes,
Mr.
Lee. When
Jimmy.
you get there, Jimmy, you'll fucking love it. But trust me,
Seen a couple of clips, it does
if
look fun.
Homelander is a skit / parody of Superman, Soldier Boy is Captain fucking America. And
Yeah. If Captain America drank and swore like a trooper.
yeah, and had a taste for older women. That one line. These women are like a fine wine. The older, the better. But also,
Yeah, I
the
just love the
higher.
way he turns around. And he goes, "Yeah, thanks a lot. I can never fire them now."
Yeah. Paul fucking Reiser is a cameo in that.
Mm.
I was like, yeah, you do realize I can never fire them now.
Jimmy, when you get that, you are just gonna fucking.
Yeah, you're gonna love Soldier Boy. Seriously. There is a slight kind of. It's not a spin-off, really. It's more of a side piece to it. There is the animated, The Boys Diabolical, which I've not watched. Hands up, I've not watched that.
Neither have I.
But from my understanding of it, it's basically short little stories done in different animation styles.
Apparently, also in development is The Boys Mexico.
Ooh,
So that could be good.
That could be an interesting one, especially with the Gen V going alongside it as well, because that's going to tie in somewhere. You'll get to that, Jimmy. You'll get to that. Trust me.
Don't worry. I know. I feel like I said. I feel like the last night before school, and you've got your deadline, and you're gonna miss it. So
Yeah.
I am
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna-
you
You are
will
literally doing your
absolutely
homework on the
love.
bus.
You will love Gen V. It's basically it's the same level of humor and gore and everything else that's in The Boys,
Oh,
but
thank you.
with added sort of teenage drama of being
Yeah.
in college. You know, making good grades and passing
Let's
your
just add
classes.
activity into the mix.
But I did hear just recently that one of the actors for Gen V sadly passed away in
Yeah, he was in a
motorcycle
car
accident.
accident. Yeah.
Car accident, that was it.
Fun. Motorbike accident. I've been told.
I was-
The adjudicator has spoken.
I said motorbike first, there we go. But yeah, he was in a motorbike accident
Mm.
recently and he's no longer with us. So I don't know if that means what that means for season 2 of Gen V.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping they've already got it filmed.
Mm,
Could be one of them.
It could be a crow type situation.
Yeah, it could be the sadly crow situation idea. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. That's pure speculation on our
Mm.
half. But we've been going for about an hour-ish now, so I think it's time to
Yeah.
So-
Right. Jimmy, you have got until June the 13th to catch up. Because
that's
June
when
the
season
13th,
4 hits.
season 4.
I'm sure I'll get there.
So we may have once after season 4's been out, we may have to do The Boys revisited.
Yeah, but when it's
Oh no,
finished.
I don't mean like as soon as it's finished its run. Fuck no, we're not Team Venom. We don't do that shit. We don't spoil stuff the day it comes out. We're not
That's
cunts.
'cause-
That would just be mean on people, you know.
Yeah.
But
well,
I respect the fact that you've kept this rather spoiler free, considering that I'm still
Well,
catching up,
unlike-
and it has been out for a while now.
Go on, guys.
unlike Team Venom, I'm actually rather happy with the size of my penis. Just saying.
You just flashed the diabolical with that badges there.
So there you go.
There, anyway, then. So, to round things up, The Boys, all 3 seasons, go check it out. Check out Gen V. The animated thing, Diabolical, I am going to check it out at some point. So,
Yeah, definitely.
recommendation?
Now I know about it. I'll check that out too.
Yeah, and definitely recommend the Vault International YouTube page because
Yes, I'll put that in the description, like I said.
And being the graphic novel collector I am, I'm sure I will locate, find, and get a compendium of that.
You probably
Yeah.
will. That's what you do.
Go
But-
to the source material.
Exactly.
So, it's good
I heard
night.
there are differences between the two.
But
Yes,
there are
there
a lot. Translucent, the one that I do know, bit of trivia is Translucent was actually a character made up for the TV show. Because in the comic book, his spot in the 7 was filled by an alien, and it was basically a parody of the Martian Manhunter. But for the
Yeah.
TV show, they changed it to Translucent. That's trivia for you.
There you
But
go.
then, time to say goodnight, everyone. I have been Miss Violet Impulse.
I've been a random man returning with my Thunderbollocks.
And they are thunderous bollocks indeed. He has
I've
been
been
Mr.
Jimmy, as always.
He's been Mr. Jimmy Lee Clifford. And remember, my sweet tortured souls, it can be good. Be twisted. Don't get mad, baby. Get sick.
It's the
Mwah.
distance.
Good night, everyone. Catch you in the next episode.